Hi, thank you for listening to Reverse Investment Channel. I'm Chi Yao. Years after the Great Recession, government has prepared us rules and regulations, but scandals seem to happen more and more frequent. The result is obviously a disaster. Regulations has not prevented anything, and seem more like a backdoor resolution. Is regulation working? The regulations are set in a way not applicable to the elite class. Since the financial crisis in 07-08, none of the financial elites has yet to be held accountable. Quote, "It will be much healthier state of affair of the number of bankers going to prison for their crimes that were committed. JP Morgan is one of the great criminal enterprises of all time. That's not a rant or an opinion. They have actually pleaded guilty for crimes," unquote, said Jim Rickards. He then said, quote, "They have deferred prosecution agreement." Secretary of Treasury Geithner at the time intervened with the Department of Justice, said, "Do not prosecute them." What business does the Secretary of Treasury have doing telling the Justice Department not to follow the rule of law? Unquote. There are at least 13 criminal charges against Jamie Dimon. What do financial elites do? Well, they get away with it. And by the way, the original Glass-Steagall legislation is 5 to 6 pages, but it is clear and effective, while the Dodd-Frank has 2,000 pages, with many of them written by the bankers, and later ruled out by the same bankers. Wells Fargo scandal, over 2 million unauthorized accounts since 2011, led 5,300 employees fired. However, the former CEO and chairman John Stumpf stepped down and walked away with a bonus of $130 million. Is there not a law that forbids theft? What do financial elites do? Well, they get away with it. California Attorney General even said they are not going to press any criminal charges. RT News exposed Royal Bank of Scotland scandal of skimming their own business customers. RBS even came up with the codename, quote, "Dash for cash," unquote, to force borrowers into higher rates in order to later sell business parts for profits. The heads of RBS testified in front of UK Parliament, claiming not knowing the situation of 16,000 cases. What do financial elites do? Well, they get away with it. And they also close RT Bank accounts in UK without explanation. And no one has yet to be put behind the bar. If you don't execute, what's the purpose of regulation? However, they knowingly participate both unethical and criminal behaviors. They will be intolerant by the people, and yet, with all big fishes getting away time and time again, there is no clearer evidence that corruption goes too high up, that policymakers are willing to enrich the public and risk their political careers to cover up and let go the criminals. It's like saying to elites, do whatever you want, we will cover your back and make sure no one will ever go to jail for deeds. I'm sure if any person tries to steal money from a bank, knowingly and purposely, the person is going to jail. But if it is the other way around, you know the result. The banking elites will socialize the losses. It is just an irony to hear politicians talking about aiding reforms and regulations to protect consumers. When is the last time you see a brand new factory built by private sector without some kind of connection from government? The continuation of inflation has pushed naive people to always worry about losing purchasing power. They have to constantly think about saving and investing, and government provides the solution of a lucrative monetary policy so people can put hard-earned savings into. But no, let's not invest in, let's speculate in. The regulations are making investing for the future impossible. So what is the purpose of regulation? It is there to expand their power, so that they can impose control economy upon us, so that private individual can no longer set up a profitable business, so that people will thank government for creating jobs from subsidizing the existence of crony capitalists to create the business speculators want. All the reforms and regulations are working to make sure added costs are driving honest companies out of business and big fishes can always get around it. To wrap it up, don't run other people, keep your promise, and pay for your own risks. That's all the regulations we need. Thousands upon thousands of rules and regulations adding on the cost of honest business are not necessary. What we really and urgently need is fair and impartial punishments. And we can only achieve that by taking the power back from the government. Embrace the personal liberty, free market, and sound money. Thank you for listening to Reverse Investment Channel. This is Chi Yao, signing out for now.